What's up, everybody? This is Marlon here with Tables, Ladders, and Bumps. We got Wade in the house. We are down one because Pierre is, there's a lot going on in Chicago weather-wise. So unfortunately, as he said, he is living in the Amish parade or Amish paradise, right? So
Yeah.
we hope that they're safe and that everything gets restored back to normal very soon. Pierre, we miss you. Can't wait to have you on for the next one. So we're gonna do the same old show, but we're gonna minus the no take, no hate, just debate, and we're just gonna talk about our Raw slash SmackDown review, and we're gonna do our three count as well. So Thomas and I will come up with the third point for our three count, and let's get into it. Let's start off. All right, let's start off with the Raw and now SmackDown review. I'll kick this one off because this is gonna. I don't know, man. Chelsea Green. I know SmackDown has so many stars on it. It has the undisputed champion Cody Rhodes. It's got the undisputed women's champion Bayley. They got not Damage Control. They got Jade and they got Bianca. But I feel like a lot of the show is carried by Chelsea Green and her antics. They got Queen Nia too. They got Tiffany Stratton, of course, the new winner of Money in the Bank and the Queen of the Ring. Ah, there it is. Ah, me too. Like, ah, real ones, no. Real ones, no. But I feel like, dude, whenever Chelsea is on screen, personally, and I don't know how you feel about it, and I'm curious to know. I feel like Chelsea Green is a champion or a workhorse without any of the belts. Um, like she first started catching my eye when she was tag champs with Sonya Deville because it was such a contrast in personalities.
hmm
And I was like, man, she's really making this thing work. And then when she lost Sonya, she got Piper, and she was like, that was another like yin and yang type of situation, and it still is. And I don't know, man, she's just comedy. She's just comedy. She has skills as an actor. She's a stunt double. She did a lot of like the WWE 2K motion captures for previous games.
hmm
I feel like this girl is a star without even being main event. And I can get into reasons why she thinks so too, but what do you think so far?
Yeah, I mean, she like cracked the code because she doesn't need a belt. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of
Mm-hmm.
people need a belt to be relevant. There's not very many things that don't really need to be involved with the belt at all.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them's Chelsea Green, and the other one is the Punk and uh, DM Hunk feud.
Mm-hmm.
So that like those two but Chelsea Green, you need like a comedy character to that actually has like good comedic timing that um lightens the mood because like NXT Black and Gold wasn't didn't really take off because it was all just like dark and dingy like hardcore wrestling matches, and there was like funny stuff in there, but like having someone like Chelsea Green to like lighten the mood and like be always willing to make fun of herself and finding new ways to jump off the screen, whether it's literally jumping off of a ladder or having a bedazzled neck brace. Uh like she's a superstar. Like the mid card title belts that are coming for the women, like that is made for Chelsea Green. I don't think she needs a world title. She doesn't even need the mid card title, but she's the perfect person to have it. And like she would elevate the belt by being like
Yeah.
silly with it and stuff. And I thought she did a good job with the tag belts too,
Mm-hmm.
as well. So like everyone had talked about Jade and Bianca like coming and saving the belts. That didn't do anything. Like
Not much.
Chelsea did more for the belts than, and I know she had way more time to work with it, but and you mean we have the issues with Jade, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Chelsea's a star. She's like if you have a wrestling promotion, she should be like a top 5 draft pick for
Mm-hmm.
sure.
Yeah. If you or anybody listening to this hasn't seen the interview with Chelsea Green with Chelsea Green and Chris Van Fleet on
Hmm.
Insight. Um, just to get to know like her work ethic, where she came from. I mean, she has in-ring experience. She was with Lucha Underground,
Oh
right?
yeah,
You
those
know, she was a
matches are
lot of
sick.
yeah, she was a lot of Kusa, and you if you see her work from that man, she could go. But also the fact that she said that she doesn't need a belt, right? She doesn't need a belt because her her priority is to create moments and things that people remember. People won't always remember when people are champions, but she said they'll
Hmm.
remember moments. So like her record-breaking Royal Rumble elimination, like she said
Oh
that
yeah.
people will remember her for that. And then she also says that if there's like a celebrity that's working, she wants to be able to put them over and make them look good in the ring. So, I just respect that type of work ethic. I mean, she's not getting hand-me-downs. She really put the sweat equity in there. So, I don't know. I just feel like Chelsea Green is like literally a star in WWE, and I could see her going into Hollywood and doing more things there
Oh
in the
yeah.
future too. So, anyway, that was my review. That's my SmackDown/Raw review. What do you got for this week?
Um, well, I wanted to talk about the Wyatt Six
Mhm.
um from Raw, and that was like a real dichotomy for me because, and I think I'm using this correctly, but the word sounds cool regardless. Um, that that Eric Rowan clip
Mhm.
is a 10 out of 10. You
Mhm.
could not do any better for a vignette
Yeah.
interview type of thing. Um, I'm like pretty bought into the Wyatts overall now because it's the spooky stuff I'm like, yeah, whatever on it. And I thought that would be the cool part, but I'm really into this like psychological part that they're going into. And I feel like that's something people keep saying they're doing like spooky or like, oh, it's I don't I'm trying to think of the way people are describing it. Um
Like psychological or
no,
thriller?
they're not
Or-
saying that. They're like,
Mhm.
oh, they're basically doing um where they have like mythical powers or type of thing. Like I've heard
Mhm.
other like podcasters are like, oh, well, there's like smoke coming out, so that means they have like secret powers. So it's like, no, they could just be have fog machines out there and using it to scare people, like psychological terror. Like
Yeah.
that doesn't. It, I think with how like grounded some of this is, you could assume that they're doing this to scare people, right? Like that is the
Mhm.
purpose. They're not actually like they don't have some weird Freddy Krueger powers where they're gonna attack you in your sleep or something.
Mhm.
Or when I walk, fog comes with me, like Hellraiser or something. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I think they're doing the balance of like all of this relates to psychological terror to me.
Mhm.
And all of these people are traumatized and have uh you mean dealt with a lot, or at least these first two. I'm curious. I'm bit weary when we get to like Dexter Loomis and stuff like that. I mean, maybe he'll do good with it.
Yeah.
Uh, but like Eric Rowan has gone through a lot.
Mhm.
You have and, like he talked about two of his friends, like literally how
Passed
the
away.
original they're both gone.
Mhm.
And I just was really impressed with that. And then you had the stuff with Chad Gable and the Creed brothers, which that was like not how I wanted them to debut. Like I wanted them to beat up like Tozawa personally. Like just
Yeah.
go nuts with it. And maybe
Yeah.
they'll do that next week. My thing I actually didn't mind Bo Dallas's like performance. Like being kind of like laughing and stuff. I know both of us watch What Culture and like people in there don't like the like
Spooky.
kooky. Like
Yeah.
I didn't even think he was being. I don't know. I thought it made sense, him laughing, because his whole point was try to show the world this other side of Chad Gable, and that part was brought out again, even though he was trying to hide it. So I was not against that at all. I just was like, oh, we brought we did the reveal with this. It was kind of weird to me. Um,
Did you see my text? I was like, Sean Spears and Ridge Holland did it better.
oh, oh, the laughing they definitely did not, but
Or bringing out the worst in somebody. It's like, yes,
yeah,
there it
I'm good.
is.
I'm sure. Well, yeah, theirs is like literally idiotic because they're like, oh, I'm gonna get this guy to bash my head in with a chair. Like it's like what? Why would
That was the first thing I thought of when Bo was like, there he is. I was like, oh
yeah?
no.
He played that off much better than Sean Spears, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Sean Spears. I'm not a fan of that character very much. I like Sean Spears, but not his character right now in NXT personally. But it's so bad, it's kind of funny to me. Like this one, I'm like kind of into. I just don't like that Gable's in it. I really
Yeah.
want Jay but Gable is pulling off the like I actually did like his whole thing. Like I figured out it's Bo Dallas.
It's like, yeah,
Everyone's
we
like,
know.
yeah, we know. And he's like, yeah, because I've been telling everyone about it. That's how you know. Uh, I'm a huge fan of that. So, like, I mean, Gable's pulling everything off. Like, this is a diff. If this was going to be pulled off well, like, them having Gable with it is probably the smartest idea, in my opinion. I don't know who else on that roster could pull this off.
Sammy, maybe.
Sammy would actually be really good, but he's
Yeah.
like the most pure person, so
Yeah.
you would be turning them heel and like all this stuff with their trauma and everything. This is like a babyface group, even though they're like
Yeah. It's pretty
tormenting
interesting.
people.
That's a good
Uh,
point.
so you have to have a heel. I mean, Seth Rollins is about to turn heel, so I'm a bit iffy on that one. You don't want it
Mhm.
involved in Drew or Punk at all.
Mm-mm.
Like
Yeah. Who else are the Jay Uso's the
Finn
face of
Finn is great at it because Finn did that, but like I
he's
guess
a
you could
heel.
do it. Finn is a heel, so you could do that. Because he did a good job with Bray Wyatt. Like he's
Mm-mm.
probably when the Fiend like he did the best selling for that anyone, I think.
Right.
So I
Yeah,
don't
you do need
know
a heel. Hmm.
because like the dynamics of the group are kind of weird.
Right.
Um, I don't know who on the women's roster because you have Nikki Cross in there too. Maybe damage control. I don't know. I would be fine with that.
I'd be fine with that too.
That'd be interesting because they have
Yeah.
kind of the. I don't. Was it you or Pierre was talking about their facial expressions, which is like just very Japanese style of stuff. So,
Yeah.
um, I don't know. I'd be kind of actually. I want them to do stuff with damage control. Now that I say that out loud, I feel like
Yeah.
Dakota Kai could sell that.
I feel like Liv can too if they went after Liv for
Yeah,
whatever reason. So
yeah,
I
Liv.
think, yeah.
Um, yeah. I just don't even know who you would have
Men's
of the
wise,
heel. Yeah, like not New Testament. Like like
Ludwig
for
Kaiser.
final. But then you get Gunther involved. And you don't want that.
Well, yeah, it's true. Yeah. I mean, he's out injured anyway, right?
Yeah,
So,
it's just broken ribs. He'll be back in like probably 2 weeks. So
God. Woo! Yeah, no, I like the Wyatt Six thing last night. You brought up an interesting point though, like with these vignettes, they each have a backstory that's tied to Bray, right?
Mhm. Or
Like
their
I'm
own personal trauma in
or
general.
their own personal trauma, which is why I'm curious to see what Dexter, Joe Gacy, and Nikki have to say regarding their justification of being in the group. Um, I'm trying to I don't know Dexter Loomis's storylines or background enough to know if there's a long-term story that they could tie in. Um, Same with Joe
Yeah.
Gacy. Like, do you know anything regarding like Dexter or Joe that
Joe
would?
Dexter, like, dude, only thing I remember from like the NXT clips from back then is like he's packing heat. That's all I remember. So
Oh,
like
wow.
there's like jokes that they had like all these Magnum condoms because he's got a big old like so that's like the only thing I remember. So like I'm not the best person to ask about that. Um
Okay, Indy.
um and maybe I'm remembering that wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's like I'm not making that up. And that's
It's like a
story that's kayfabe. I don't know if that's real, but
yeah.
I feel like there's a reason they came up with that in
Yeah, a lot of these
storyline.
things are inspired by real life sometimes.
Yeah.
So
So I don't know about him. Joe Gacy, he was like hardcore. Like I don't know. He could. There's stuff he could go into. I don't know. I'm sure everyone has some personal trauma you could like tap
yeah.
into, like of stuff. Uh, those the first two were like the most obvious. I think Nikki Cross has dealt with stuff like had family stuff somewhat recently.
Hmm.
Um, but they've all been kind of like thrown to the side, every single one of them.
Yeah.
So you could kind of go into that. Yeah, I'm curious to see the Dexter Loomis thing. Like that's the one. Joe
Yeah.
Gacy, I'm like I know he could pull. I think him and Nikki Cross can rock it. Dexter Loomis, I don't have an opinion because I don't know.
Right.
Uh
Because Gacy was a part of Schism, right? Is
yeah,
that
that
what the
was
group was called?
terrible, but like he's like good.
Yeah. He
Just
has
the
like wrestling
idea.
experience
I mean,
prior
how
to.
many like tree puns do you need
Hmm.
like for a whole thing? So yeah, that was a terrible faction. Um Jesus, yeah. Freaking
The Rock's daughter was in it.
four branches, one tree. Uh whatever it was. Maybe it was four roots, one tree. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ava. She doesn't have a surname. She's the Rock's daughter.
That's right.
Yeah. I
Okay.
just ugh. I'm curious. Now like
Yeah.
next week I like cannot wait to
Right.
see. I'm assuming there's another video
Yeah.
and who it's gonna be. My
Why
guess
are they going
is
to Pat McAfee?
I don't know.
I want to hear your guess. Who's your guess? Who it's going to be
Oh,
for next week?
Nikki Cross. She's the next biggest name,
Yeah. Yeah.
I would guess.
Okay.
Nikki Cross or I mean, Dexter Loomis is my last pick, to be honest. I think he's last because I cannot. Or maybe you do him next because like you want to end strong, or he could have the best one for all I know.
Right.
But I would guess Joe Gacy's. I think he's very good. So
Hmm.
I have faith that he'll pull this off in a
Yeah.
way. So, and it's not like NXT where they're like, "All right, you got one take to do." Like they're
Right.
gonna like make sure this is edited and done in a way that is the best way possible, in my opinion. So,
Right.
like NXT, I think they get like 1 hour to try to like film a backstage segment
Ooh.
or like, and it's like one camera. Like, all right, go.
Go. God. The
But
pressure.
I mean that's like that's what you need. Like if you could do that, then you're gonna be you can do anything. So
Yeah.
I like that's what I've been heard before. So I could be wrong. Maybe they, but I think they're kind of just
Why
ripping
not?
it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
They.
yeah,
I heard they get their lines the day of.
yeah, that'd be friggin' so tough to do.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. Let us know what you guys think about one Chelsea Green's performance on SmackDown so far with her purple bedazzled neck brace, which reminded me of Leslie Knope's neck brace on Parks and Rec. Have you seen that?
yeah,
It's like the airplane pillow with the duct tape going
yeah.
across. Let us know what you guys think about Chelsea Green, her performance, and all her skills going on in SmackDown right now. And then also, what do you think about the Wyatt Six currently as we see it? The Bo Dallas debut. The Freaks actually entering the ring this past week. So drop a comment, let us know.
One more thing,
Yeah.
Judgment Day. I just want to go into that real quick.
Okay.
Because we got the we had mentioned this off offline. Um, Basically, it looks like they're getting split into two. You got the babyface part of it, and maybe they won't deal with each other anymore, but I have a feeling that they will. Which is going to be Rhea and Priest,
Priest.
and
Hmm.
then you got the rest of the buffoons over in the heel side, just straight up goon squad, with Finn Balor. So I'm, I mean, I liked. I feel like Dom's being used right now by Rhea, in my
Right.
opinion.
Right.
Cause she like I don't feel like she would just like forgive him that quickly for being such a jabroni.
Hmm.
I think him not contacting her for 3 months is way worse than any of the stuff he did with Liv, because it's not like he initiated anything with her. Like if you're watching the shows, which like it seems like she's watching part of the time, and then for selective things like Carlito being back there, she has doesn't watch those segments
Right.
somehow. But uh like it doesn't I just don't see her as I think she's probably done with Dom and is gonna like utilize him as like a pawn right now, which it's
Mm.
Dom, so I don't really see that as a heel move by Rhea. Um,
Yeah. You think she's going to utilize him to get the title back? Is that what you're saying? And then like dump him when she gets the gold back, if she does?
Maybe, yeah,
Yeah.
something like that.
I'm trying to
I
think of
could
like
see
long
him.
term.
I could see him like, or she's just using him to like be her. You mean whipping boy, and but he's
Yeah.
gonna like turn on her.
Right.
Um, I kind of want Liv to win at
Yeah.
SummerSlam.
Same here.
Even though like I like Rhea and Rhea's in ring is way better than Liv, I kind of want a major dramatic story thing to happen with like
Yeah.
Dom turning, and then she's full babyface, and then we get
I
like a
want a long term rivalry.
Bonnie and
Yeah.
Clyde thing with
Dom and
Dom
Liv.
and Liv. Yeah.
That'd be sick.
Although for
Yeah. I
Liv's
wonder.
wife, maybe we don't want that to happen because they'll be he's gonna be like making out with her and stuff. So
Oh, for Dom's wife.
yeah, if he like
Yeah.
joins Liv, then that's like I feel bad, even though they're like professionals and stuff. It's
Yeah.
I wouldn't want that necessarily.
It's funny
My
how
husband,
the mind goes there. Like we know that it's portrayal character acting, right? It's dramatization. But then because like I think wrestling fans are always in between like kayfabe and outside of kayfabe, we're like, wait,
yeah,
these guys are married. I think we keep turning that switch on and off. Um, More so in this storyline because all of these people are married.
yeah.
So,
And then you get Jey Uso involved.
yeah. Gee,
He
so
was really funny, I have to say. He was super funny with all of that. And
yeah.
who was it? You or Pierre that texted saying I would like physically combust if
Yeah, I said
she.
that.
Yeah, because I mean, anyone who watches this knows I actually don't dislike Jey Uso, but if Rhea dated him in kayfabe, I would, I would probably be pretty upset. They're right. I would just like, I don't know why that would bother me so much. Like her dating like Dom and kayfabe, I like because it's like he's like her gimp, so it's like funny
Yeah.
to me. But like Jey Uso, it's just like he's just a buffoon, like in a different way that I don't like that dynamic per se. So it's not why everyone thinks I wouldn't like it. It's more of just like the dynamics. I'm not like a huge fan. I would like her dating Tozawa better than like I would find that hilarious.
You wouldn't want like scenes at the Waffle House? I think that would be great, dude. That'd be like
I mean, that would be
cinema.
kind of funny.
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind that to be
and they
honest,
start a
but
fight like, in all of like Waffle House fashion.
Dom's there. Dom and
Dom's
Liv
there.
show up.
Oh, dude. Book
All right.
it.
Okay. All right.
Book
I'm
it.
in. I'm in. Never mind. I'm good. All right.
Book it. Yeah, the Judgment Day thing, like you said, there's like two storylines going on right now. They intersect, and Judgment Day is at the center of it. So we got the love triangle going on, and we got the Damian Priest uh face turn, which I kind of want to talk about in my 3 count, but
Oh, I thought you were
interesting.
doing that. Let's start. Let's transition to 3 count then, and then go into that.
Okay.
I didn't realize you were doing that for 3 count. That was my bad.
Yeah, let's do it. Um, so the Damian Priest face turn, the signs have been there and they're there, right? So the ones that I'm thinking of are one, calling Dom out for his stupidity. Usually if like Priest was like a goon, or if he was like a bad guy, he'd probably be endorsing it. Two, um, and a part of that is when Dom said, "You sound just like my father," and Priest said, instead of like ripping on Ray, he was like, "Well, I kind of understand why your father is like so
Yeah,
hard on you." So that one, and then at the house show this past week, or in Mexico City, right?
yeah,
Um, like Priest was like he helped out Jay after Jay got jumped, and he like yeeted with him in the ring.
yeah,
Um, so like I think week after week you're starting to see these smirks on Damien's face. And it also happened again this week with Jay, when he was talking about, hey, I heard Rhea's single. Is that for real? She's single and ready to mingle? And Priest looked at Dom and he's like, yeah, she maybe is,
I
you
know.
know?
He's kind of muted. I like this. I actually like. He got a huge pop this week too. This is the first time that I noticed an audibly when he went out to the ring.
Mhm.
Because usually it's like kind of mixed because like people are like him and like, but this seemed like the first week he
Mm.
got a respectful like champions pop, not like a Cody Rhodes or anything like, but like people are respecting him as the champion. I don't know if you noticed that too, but like it's not like that
Yeah, I got
crowd
it.
was like wild or anything. Like they gave him a good pop for that, what that crowd
Yeah.
was.
Yeah. I got to go back and listen to it. And then in the last part, the last thing was his promo with Gunther.
Yeah.
Gunther just totally
Yeah.
hitting all like the nerves, the exposed nerves about Damien, which I think made the crowd like him even more as an underdog versus Gunther. So
He, Gunther is unreal, man. The
yeah,
like I love he's like one of my faves. But I he plays that like conceited like dick so well. Like just talking about like, oh, your parents obviously didn't love you enough, like
yeah,
basically like to give you
yeah.
a home and stuff. I'm like, what the hell? Like
When
he
he
was
said
just
living
go
on the
ahead.
streets is a choice, I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
was that like a Kanye pull or reference? Like I was,
Something someone what like I've heard people say things like that that are like just so detached from reality.
yeah,
So uh
it's like damn,
and he's like, yeah, my parents loved me and gave me what I needed because they knew of how special I was. It's just like, God damn. Like like he was kind of Priest is kind of a tweeter, but just Gunther going scorched earth kind of makes it like
oh, so
like
good,
I actually want I would like Priest to win too. But I want Gunther to beat him at Bash at Berlin. Like
yeah.
I don't know. I'm fine either way. I would be. I know a lot of people would be pissed if Gunther lost, but I would be fine with. He's gonna have that
At
belt for
Berlin,
a long time. Yeah, he'll have
yeah.
Gunther like him getting it a month later is not, or even 2 months later is not gonna be a big deal.
Hmm.
Um, you could have a lot of reasons for Priest winning somehow, but
Hmm.
um yeah, I like Priest, but yeah, that Gunther's promo was unreal.
Yeah.
Uh and like him with the like Austrian German accent like does not make it much better with him saying like how much better he is than people. I'm like, oh, like this is not the I like it just makes it even though like if me or you like well if you said it it would still be like a heel move but like if
Yeah.
I said it like just as a white person it makes it so much worse and then him with that accent makes it
Oh my
like
God.
worse than if I did it so it
So believable. I'm like, yo, do you believe this? Everything you're saying right now?
yeah
Obviously it doesn't, but it was that good. It was
yeah
that
he's
good.
awesome. Gunther's great. I do have to say speaking of the Eastern Europeans, because I had made a joke last week that watch Ilya Dragunov is going to go against
Sami Zayn
Sami
for the
Zayn
belt.
for the belt and lose, and I then it got randomly announced last minute that happened. I was like, oh my god, I made it happen, but technically Dragunov won because Braun Breaker speared him. So hey,
True.
Ilya finally beat Sammy. Finally lost. So I
That's
don't think
true.
no one said that. No one's been like, "Hey, Sammy technically lost," because it is he just moved out of the way and it
Yeah,
happened. But I'm still ipso facto Ilya Dragunov has beaten Sami Zayn, so and that's going to
that's
be a
right.
triple threat at SummerSlam for sure.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, hey, people hold it against Gunther for losing to Chad Gable, right? That was like his
I
loss
I
before
think
he
that was
lost the
only
belt.
me and you held that against him. I don't think anyone else cared about it. They like ignored that storyline after a month. Um,
Uh, still a win, still a dub.
um, but are you good for Priest and all of that?
Yeah, yeah,
Um, so yeah, for my I guess yeah, it's two counts since it's just two of us.
yeah,
Pierre, I know he's going to be watching this diligently. Uh, he wanted us to talk about Stephanie Vaquer
yeah.
and why she's a big deal because that is literally the biggest pickup you could get in women's wrestling, in my opinion. There was no hotter like free agent or about to be free agent.
Hmm.
There's, I mean, really, there were three women that, and I don't even know uh the third. I'll get into the third one out, but like Julia, who WWE got,
Hmm.
Stephanie Vaquer,
Hmm.
WWE got. And this is like post Mercedes Monet, obviously, because
Right.
getting Mercedes Monet was the biggest
Huge.
star power. That's huge. And like some
Yeah.
people hate, like she has people hate on like everyone. So, um, but getting Stephanie Vaquer is like an unreal get. I honestly think probably even a bigger deal than Julia.
Hmm.
Um, both of them are great, but Stephanie Vaquer just has like a look too and a style that is it will translate well to WWE, I think. Even though WWE is softer, you got enough people in that roster that you could like go nuts with.
Hmm.
So you got Io Sky, like thinking of like Io Sky, Rhea, Bianca Belair,
Hmm.
um, you got I would even say Roxanne Perez. You could put her in there and she'll like brawl with people. Like she'll go pretty hard. Like she could have a good match with anyone that's actually good.
Yeah.
Um, like there's Lyra Valkyria. Like there's like a lot of people who could do a
You could
technical
go.
match, a hard match.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, even Tiffany. Like it would be different, but like that, like there's like tons of matches right away. I'm like, I want to see how that looks, like with all of those people.
Zoe.
Zoe Stark,
Yeah.
um, all of those would be awesome matches, and she could
Yeah.
like put on a banger with like anyone. Because she kind of has she has a lucha style where she could do sick stuff off the ropes,
Hmm.
but her stuff looks she wrestles snug, and like her stuff just like she could tell a really good story in a match. There's not like fat. It's not like she doesn't know what's going on. Like there's a purpose with everything she does.
Hmm.
And like I've seen her wrestle in person twice,
Where
and
at? Where did you see her wrestle?
I saw her wrestle at the Stardom event in
Hmm.
Philly, and she comes out and there you like everyone like it's one of those people you're like, oh whoa, this is like she has an aura like what people say about Jade Cargill, but like this is like for real in my opinion. Like like Jade looks like it, but it's like Stephanie's continues while she's wrestling too. You're just
Yeah.
like, holy crap! Like she has like a presence about her, and then she wrestles, and the presence continues. And there's one other
Hmm.
person, Megan Bain, is the same way who you saw, uh, and the like Megan Bain's like the next free agent person that
Hmm.
someone's gonna try to get. I have a feeling AEW will probably get her,
Hmm.
but yeah, it is a huge pickup. She could have a good match with anyone on that roster. You saw her against. Mercedes Moné. Like I would
Yeah.
say some of it is Mercedes awesome. It makes you look awesome, but that was like a showcase of Stephanie Vaquer to me.
Hmm. Hmm.
But I don't know what you saw that match. What did you think?
Oh, I thought it was great. I mean, I haven't seen Mercedes wrestle in a long time, to be honest, and I was hooked on that whole match. I mean, especially Mercedes taking the bumps on all of Stephanie's like
Oh
special
yeah.
moves. Like I thought, I like that raised my respect for Mercedes. Because I know a lot of people dunk on her, but I feel like that match was solid. I could totally watch that match again. Um, it was a really good match, and I wasn't familiar with Vakur, right? Like she just popped on my radar recently, but for someone who I've never seen, I was like in awe. Probably like the way people first see an Osprey or Jacob type of situation.
Oh, Fatu,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, that's how I felt. I was like, dude, I would totally watch. I would pay to watch this girl.
Yeah,
Pay
I
to
mean
watch
I
her
have
go.
twice.
Yeah.
So yeah, I saw her in New Japan when New Japan was in Ontario also.
Oh,
Uh
nice.
yeah, so she and I like I was because I went to that show with my parents and I'm like, she will be in AEW or WWE like as soon as that like she's able to get out of that contract. Like, I'm like,
Yeah.
she is like, and my parents were like super impressed because that was one of the better matches too. I can't remember who she went against. But yeah, I'm like, she's like as good as you could get. Like, I have no notes on like anything that I'm like, oh, I would like. It'd be cooler
Hmm.
if she could do this or like, nah, her stuff looks like it hurts. There's no like, she has like a very striking look. Um,
Do you
yeah,
know what's with the speaking of the look, do you know what's with her like the devil gimmick
the
or
horn
the horn?
things.
Yeah.
Nah, I like it though. I'm like all about it. Like,
Yeah. I'm just wondering if there was like a persona that she's trying to show or
probably
it came
yeah. I think
from.
there is something, but I've seen like on TV. I've watched quite a few matches of her because if I see like anyone post, because I've known about her for a bit, just because she was doing CMLL and New Japan, and that's not
Mhm.
like someone having belts at both is kind of like a pretty big deal. But yeah, I like anything like if I saw someone post something about her, I'm like, oh, I'm checking this out because she's sick. She's probably because I like Julia a lot, but I like Stephanie a bit better.
Mhm.
But I mean, you're gonna have both of them in NXT, which is nuts. Um,
Damn. So
I think she's just going to improve her English. I think she can speak English fine though.
right,
But I think they're just gonna have her basically do. I mean, if you put her and Julia down there around the same time, that's gonna be insane.
bro,
That's just gonna, and then you have
bro.
Roxanne down there, and I'm not putting Roxanne on their, but talent wise, Roxanne is someone
I
like,
hold her up there.
I mean, I wouldn't, but like she, like, it's hard to compare because she's wrestling all these people on NXT that are like
Learning.
learning, and
Yeah.
like she has like pretty good matches with like virtually everyone, where like these girls are going like like so yeah, it's not fair. You're comparing like them in Stardom, which is generally has the best women's matches in CMLL.
Hmm.
So you can't. Yeah, it's not fair. Maybe if she had that opportunity, every time uh Roxanne has had the chance, she's showed out with someone good. So
Hmm.
yeah, I mean maybe you're right. Yeah, I just think they're a bit more seasoned than her, but that's because they haven't been in NXT. They've been wrestling internationally, traveling all over the world, going against I mean
Yeah.
people like Mercedes Monet.
It's a different
So
kind of exposure. So they may have like maybe the same amount of years put in, but like just the different resume, maybe different portfolio or the exposure of wrestlers that they've had.
yeah, yeah, I'd be curious. I mean, yeah, just the wrestling sense there. The amount
Yeah.
of experience those two have is
Like,
crazy.
like, do you think Roxanne could thrive in the places that
Yes.
Julia and Stephanie have been to? Okay.
Yeah. The only
Yeah.
thing that I see Roxanne having somewhat issues with is like heel promos, in my
Hmm.
opinion. Because she's naturally a baby face and like people hate on her heel promo. I don't think they're that bad, but like
Yeah.
again, you're like working off of someone and you're with someone who's not like you're not doing a promo against like Rhea Ripley. You're doing
Right.
it against someone who's like a newer talent too. And that's so I think you put her in a baby face. I think she's she's even been wrestling as a heel pretty well though. So but yeah, she could thrive in both of those places in my opinion.
Yeah.
She's very technically sound and knows how to wrestle like
Hmm.
so yeah, I think yeah, I'd be curious. I hope that with this they have that relationship with Marigold, which is the like Rossi, the guy who started Stardom.
Hmm.
He started Marigold, and that's where like Julia and like Io Sky just wrestled a match. I don't
Hmm.
know if you saw that online, but I'm hoping they start using that relationship more and maybe like send like Roxanne over there
Hmm.
or something. Like that would be cool to get
Yeah.
because it seems like they kept her in NXT because they knew some ballers were coming in. Like was supposed to wrestle Julia before she got hurt. Like
Yeah.
Stephanie Vaquer's coming in. She may be coming today, for all we know, on NXT. I wouldn't be shocked. She wrestled in a like house show in Mexico.
That to me was wild. That before her like TV debut, like they're already putting her on a freaking international card. Obviously, it's like around where she's from, right? I mean,
Yeah,
she's from there, but like I just think that was so cool. I was like, okay, they really trust this girl to just come up and show out,
I mean that's a
you know?
professional to the max. Like, hey,
Yeah.
you're now part of this. Like, go wrestle Isla Dawn.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah,
Yeah,
two
I heard they
girls
had
looks
like
I like the like they both of them have a very unique certain je ne sais quoi. And I'm like, oh wow, that's of two girls I like to wrestle. Those are the top
yeah.
draft picks there. But um yeah, that's cool. Like Isla Dawn got to wrestle her too, because for a lot of stuff she
Right.
doesn't get to wrestle. Um I Alba Fire is someone I want to see her wrestle against
Oh,
too.
that'd be cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be a sick match. Um so yeah, I was kind of like, oh, they may be saving that because I thought that was weird. Isla Dawn wrestled her, not Alba Fire,
Yeah.
um, in a
They should
thing.
come
But
together and form a new brood, like a female version of the brood.
you could. They kind of got the weird devilish stuff.
Yeah.
I'd be about that.
Yeah.
I just don't want her to be an LWO. Don't put
Like,
her or El Legado El Fantasma or whatever. Don't just put her in another faction like Damage
yeah.
Control.
Yeah.
Put her in that or something. Like we don't
Yeah.
need a full like Latino team. Like
Yeah.
I don't know.
What?
Like Judgment Day is super popular and it's super mixed.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I'm thinking of Blair Davenport, Isla Dawn, Alba Fire, and
Oh
Stephanie. I
yeah,
think
that'd be a
some type
sick
of pairing.
faction.
Yeah.
Though that, well, I think they. I don't know if there's any overlap because Blair was in Stardom. I don't know if.
Hmm.
Mm, no, I don't think there's overlap because Stephanie was like CMLL and then did stuff with Stardom and New Japan
Yeah.
like recently. So I don't. But yeah, Blair hits hard. Like that would act. That's actually a sick. Yeah, I would be into that
Book it.
faction.
Book it,
Yeah.
Paul.
So, but yeah, that's all I got. I just need to give some love to Stephanie Vaquer because she's awesome, man. She
Yeah. Yeah, I
so
agree. All right, so let us know what you guys think about Stephanie Vacour, the acquisition, her coming over to the acquisition sounds so bad, but her coming over to WWE/NXT. Do you think that she's gonna be a top star in a matter of no time? Do you think she's gonna need some development? Let us know what you guys think about her coming over to WWE. That's a
if you
solid no,
say
right?
she needs to develop in any wrestling skills, I'm gonna be in the comments ready to go. All my accounts
Let's
arguing with
go.
you.
Let's go. Fire it up. Fire up the comments. Let's go. We want to hear everything you think about this get by WWE. So
So it's gonna be
um
like Kurt Angle sucks too next to like what the hell?
yeah, but I think this conversation has opened up like we need to talk more about like these women's rosters and like the talent in them
Both
because
AEWs is sick right now too.
yeah,
Uh, they're
yeah,
honestly booking the women better than WWE, and that I was gonna have that for my 3 count, but
yeah.
Stephanie Vaquer is like a big deal. So, um, which I made fun of AEW forever for their booking of the women's roster, but they have got really, really good stories. We didn't even talk about Mariah May.
Oh, turning the turn.
All right,
Oh
let
man.
me just vamp real quick on that because
Okay, let's
that
go.
I even showed my because my dad likes Tony Storm. He like randomly was watching TV and like uh it came on like Dynamite came on or something and he saw Tony Storm and he's like, oh, like I like her a lot because of the like old timey like
Mhm.
actress thing. And when I took him to the New Japan thing, I was like, "Oh yeah, they work with AEW." He's like, "Is Tony Storm gonna be at this?" So I was like, "Nah, she's not coming." But I sent him the heel turn, and he's like, "Dude, that was nuts!" Like he was like, "I was gonna show your mom, but she was like, is it gruesome?" And he's like, "Yeah, it's very
Yeah,
gruesome." She's like, "I don't want
yeah,
to see it then." But my
yeah,
like even my dad was like, "I've never seen a women's. I didn't. I'd never seen a heel turn like that with girls."
yeah.
That thing was ruthless.
That was
Uh,
awesome. What was the comparison they were doing it to with there was like a split screen with that and like another turn.
Oh, really? I didn't see that, I don't
I
think.
think it was Mickey James and Trish Stratus. It was like
Oh,
that. They did
maybe.
it. Yeah, they did a
Was that
split.
his blood? I doubt it was his bloody.
I don't think it was bloody. It was just like ruthless, and then like she started making out with Trish like after she turned on her,
Oh,
like in
yeah.
their
That's
stuff.
like kind of weird. Like, this was like I'm kissing your blood type of
Yeah,
thing, which is more like this is
nasty. Yeah,
10 out of 10 heel turn in my opinion. Like
right.
they're like skipping and she's like yeet like it's oh my
That was
gosh.
awesome. Yeah, did you expect that? Were you expecting that to happen?
Not then. I
Not
thought it
this
was going to
soon, right?
happen like around the match where I thought there might be a chance that Tony Storm would start to get jealous of
Hmm.
her and then that to be the thing, even though it's supposed to be based on All About Eve and it's more like the understudy is the evil one. But which I watched that movie because of this whole thing. Like, I mean, this story's been going on for 6 months at
Yeah.
least because that's what. But yeah, that heel turn was
Did
unreal, man.
have we heard from Mariah yet? Because this happened on Saturday, huh? Or
I don't think
Sunday?
she said
Yeah,
anything.
I was gonna
No, no, it
say.
happened on Wednesday.
Oh, last Wednesday?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll hear from her this tomorrow.
Wow. Okay. Just curious if she.
So yeah, I was watching that and I'm like, okay, like, oh, this is cute. And then I was like, oh, damn, like, and then
Yeah.
then it just kept going. Like, yeah, that was I couldn't believe they were doing the heel turn and like Tony's awesome, and then Luther taking that bump too, like
Oh
off the
yeah, that was
ramp. That
great.
was sick.
That was great. Yeah.
Uh, I don't know. I think she might have done this on accident, but she was like whipping her with the belt with the metal side down.
I saw that.
I was like, that might have been on not on that might have been on accident.
Or Tony's
Either way,
idea.
it hurts either way.
Yeah.
But that metal part down with
Yeah.
the side plates, ooh,
Mm.
I've not seen anyone do that. So yeah,
Yeah.
that was ruthless, and the shoe just bashing the shoe into the open
Oh,
wound. Oh
that's why they
man,
call it a heel turn.
yeah.
Uh, but yeah, dude, I'm curious to see what her motive is because I don't think it had anything to do with her like her stardom partner being there, right?
No, I think she was just planning on doing this the whole time. She was
Okay.
playing to like
Playing the
get
role.
the role to like learn everything she can from Tony Storm
Hmm.
until she felt like she has surpassed Tony Storm and is gonna
Be
like
better.
yeah beat her. It was
Hmm.
like, well, now I got the title shot against you. I don't need to play
Hmm.
nice anymore. So yeah, I think she was just waiting for her moment the whole
Yeah.
time.
The Owen Hart tournament, right? That's what she won.
Yep.
Yeah. Dang, dude. Good stuff. Yeah, we should talk about women's rosters. We should compare. We could do like WWE as a whole versus AEW, or we could talk about each brand and who has like the better roster. I think that'd be a good one.
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to do Collision brand, but because like
Sure.
everyone goes back and forth. But like we could do AEW versus
W
like SmackDown
yeah,
or Raw or something.
NXT. Because like the
Yeah.
argument I see online is that NXT has the best women's roster right now. I
No,
don't
that's
know.
not an
I think
argument.
they're a
That's just
bit.
something Ava says. Like that's not an actual argument that anyone
I don't think
argues.
I saw it coming from her. I think I saw it from the Joe Schmoes in the comment
Yeah, that's
section.
like a WWE drone saying that. There,
A
no one
plant.
says
They're planting.
no one like with Stephanie Vaquer and Julia are on there, then maybe you could say it. But at this exact moment,
Ah, dude.
there's absolutely no way.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, okay, if arguably the NXT roster is the best for whatever reason, and then you add those two, that's some
Yeah, no,
hardballing right
it
there.
was not the best in no shape or form. Like unless you were just basing it solely on like who
Unless
is
you're
the
Adam
most
Wilborn.
attractive girls. Yeah, like if you're like, oh, like and you just like the way the girls in NXT look.
Yeah,
I'm not saying one roster is better looking than the other, but like
right.
if that was your sole thing and you're like, I think these ones are hotter, then like, okay, whatever. But like if you're talking like skill, like there's no way you could argue NXT is better than Raw, SmackDown, or AEW,
Yeah.
uh, or even Ring of Honor for that matter.
Yeah.
So like Ring of
Yeah.
Honor has more ballers on it than NXT right now for the,
NXT.
but NXT just lost a bunch of like female wrestlers recently. So
Yeah.
you got Blair Davenport moving up. Like that, those are like Lyra's like was legit. Like, but yeah, right now, no.
Yeah.
Will they end up becoming big stars? Sure, but
Sure. Yeah.
like you got a lot of like, I
Got a
mean,
lot of work to do.
yeah. What are we saying? Like Lola Vice is better than like Willow Nightingale? I don't think so. Like, like that's not like you can't compare them. It's just unfair to the NXT people. So
Right.
yeah,
That's
that's like
true.
a wild thing. This like, I just not fair to NXT to like do that.
Right.
It's not the same thing. That like anyone that is someone truly believes that that is like kind of crazy. Like Roxanne's sick, but it's a developmental thing, so
Yeah.
it's not fair to compare.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I'm curious to see who the next class coming out of there will be. Like, there's a lot right now who are on the cusp, but I'm curious to see who those ones will be.
There's one that you're about to see. So that one female wrestler that won the Olympics, she's like wrestling more and like level up and stuff.
Oh yeah.
So you'll see her. I think she'll be legit. Uh,
Yeah. I'm thinking like the mid to top tier right now. I'm trying to think of NXT who that is. Like Fallon Henley, right?
she could.
Uh, Lola, they propelled pretty fast, but I don't know what her skill set is compared to like everybody
She
else.
still has a lot to learn. She has a very high ceiling.
Um, Lash,
Lash has something.
Jada,
I don't know about that. Like I like
yeah.
her, but I need to see a little bit more personally.
Kaylani and Soul. I think those ones stand out too.
They both those two both have very high ceilings in my
Yeah,
opinion, for sure. I
yeah,
just like you never know. Like
right,
I don't expect any of them to be a Tiffany Stratton. Like
right.
that's like an unreal like didn't wrestle and then wrestled for 3 years and is gonna be a world champion
Yeah,
and over as a
that's
heel. That doesn't
yeah,
happen.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So but yeah, one of you could have there's oh gosh, what is her name? I'm forgetting her name right now. Ren Sinclair. She was like a really good
Oh yeah.
indie wrestler, and she's
Hmm.
like someone that I think will end up becoming pretty solid out of that
Hmm.
crew. Um,
Somebody
but
went
yeah,
over to TNA.
Tatum
Izzy Dame.
Paxley. Yeah, and
Izzy
Izzy
Dame.
Dame. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you never know.
Izzy Dame's really tall too. So like if she could get I haven't seen in
Yeah.
any enough matches ever.
Yeah, me
Uh
either.
she's wrestling creepy Tatum Paxley
Yeah.
tonight though, so like I'm pumped
Oh,
for that
gotta
weird
watch.
match. Like that'll that'll be
Gotta watch.
yeah. So,
Gotta watch.
all right, we rambled for too long. So,
Yeah, yeah. No, we got a couple of good tangents there, let us know what you guys think. Maybe about, I know these weren't planned, but talking about the women's rosters, who has the best women's roster right now. And we want to talk about it again in the future when Pierre's here, especially. And also what you guys thought about the Mariah May, Tony Storm heel turn when Mariah May just went full Mickey James on it. So
yeah.
um, let us know what you guys think about that. All right, is that our show for the day?
That's it. You've brought up a topic that got me all fired up like twice. It's
It's all good.
like,
It's all
or
good.
maybe
The
I brought it
unplanned,
up for myself. I can't remember.
unplanned conversations sometimes are the best, man. So let's make something of it. All right, next week we'll come back. Hopefully, all three of us will be here. We got a lot to talk about still. I got a tinfoil theory that I actually like to share next week, and then we'll get the no hate, just debate type of situation going on. Pierre, we missed you on this one, and that's our show. Thomas or Wade, Mr. Wade. Let's sign out.
All right, you can find me at Wade Wrestling and Comedy on Insta. Um, I don't have a Tinder account for that, but yeah, that's where you can find me.
Are you also on Christian Mingle? No.
I'm not on that currently. No.
And then I'm Marlon at then now whatever. I'm on TikTok and on Instagram. But thanks again for listening. Their whole podcast is on Instagram, YouTube, obviously, and TikTok as well. Find us at Tables, Ladders, and Bumps. All right, guys. Have a good one.
Peace.
Thanks again.